All right, welcome to podcast, and this week we're with boys basketball players Bryce Backus and Lincoln Senti.
How are you guys doing?
Doing amazing.
Life couldn't be better.
So, how'd your guys' games go so far this week?
We're 0-2 this week.
Okay.
But we got one more game on Friday, and we're hoping to get a W.
Yeah, we had rough first half against Grand Haven Monday, down by like 30. Came back, made that 10 points. So basically a 10-point game there. And then Holland, we just had a rough game and lost by 10.
Yeah.
So I heard Holland had a dome. How was that?
It was sick. As soon as we walked in, I was like, wow. It was just a amazing environment to play in.
Yeah, that school it was like a really rich school, I felt like. And it was pretty cool, but kind of mid. Doesn't really compare, I'd say, to our school.
Yeah, our school is obviously on top.
Yeah.
So who do you play Friday?
We played Reese Puffer.
You guys feeling good about that game?
Well, from what I heard, I wasn't there last time we played them, but I heard we should have a good chance of winning, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I definitely think we can pull out with a W. We didn't play our best game last time we played them, and it was pretty close. So I think if we play our game, we can win.
Nice. So how important is having strong chemistry on with your teammates on the court?
Well, the biggest thing I've seen, so obviously I played last year, and that group of guys, I felt like they were really connected, and we really knew each other a lot, and I think that's part of the reason that made our team better. And then this year, none of us have played lots of basketball together, and I feel like that's part of the reason we're struggling so much right now.
Yeah, I think chemistry is a very important part of basketball because a lot of teams we're playing have played together for a bunch of years, and obviously we're coming together, haven't played a whole ton. So, like Bryce said, I think that's why we're struggling a little bit.
So with you guys saying not playing together as much, you guys also have a new coach. How has the change been for Coach Chapman to Coach Burns this year?
It was, at first, I would say it was really rough because Chapman came in here. Obviously, I was here the first year and only year he was here. He came in, had us doing so much together and everything, and he had us, like, I would say there was a little bit of difference in the environment, I'd say. Burns came in, really, really nice dude, and it was just like it's hard to come into a new program and be able to change things, which I think Chapman did a pretty good job on. And Burns is doing a good job, but it's also hard when your whole team's pretty much new to varsity basketball.
Yeah, I wasn't on varsity all that much last year. I only got pulled up for the playoffs, but from the little bit of coaching I did get from Chapman, it's that they definitely have very different coaching styles. Chapman's more intense, and Burns is not as intense, so it's definitely a change. But I think they're both good coaches, and he's doing a good job.
So next question for you guys: what is the most memorable shot you've made in a game? And while taking that shot, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, against TK, I had this 1-3. This kid comes jumping at me. Pump fake, he's going totally out of bounds, and then I just drained that three. It was just the perfect shot.
How'd you feel after you hit that?
I felt like LeBron. I felt like King James.
That's great. Bryce?
Honestly, I haven't really had a memorable shot. I mean,
All he does is get layups.
yeah, pretty much layups. I don't shoot too much. I mean, honestly, last year I had one against Wayland at the buzzer. Crazy shot. I felt like it was like a Damian Lillard type of shot. No, it was like the LeBron shot when they played. I think it was the Wizards, right? And he needed that game-winning three. It was basically that at the buzzer, but the buzzer went off, so it didn't count. So it's pretty dumb.
Oh, the refs didn't call it.
No, I think they were blind.
Okay. So how do you guys handle setbacks or injuries, both mentally and physically?
Setbacks and injuries. So I feel like they're two pretty different things because injury, you have to obviously go through the healing process, which, like, for many people it's different. And so basically when I got hurt this year, I was, like, really rushed because I had to, like, go to California for football. So I sprained my ankle pretty badly. And so that whole week I was in like therapy for like 2 hours a day, which I was doing hyperbaric chambers, red laser therapy, ice baths. And it's honestly not that bad because like you have to come off the injury and it's mainly just healing it. And then as soon as you're back on the court, you feel better sometimes, in my opinion, because at the same time you got to rest while you're getting back. So I really think injuries are different from setbacks. Like if we have a setback where we lost a game and stuff, that I feel like that's more mental compared to injury. I feel like that's like more physical.
Yeah, and I haven't really been injured this year, so I'll talk more about the setbacks. And the setbacks that we face are like we'll lose a game, and we'll lose a couple games, then we'll win a game, then we'll lose a couple more games. So then we really get set back there, but it's all about just coming to practice the next day and not being all down and just working on getting better each day.
Yeah, with 9 of your last 10 games being on the road, are you guys looking forward to coming back home and playing a couple here?
I couldn't be more grateful, honestly. The bus rides there, and then honestly, one of the hardest parts is having to sit, because right now we're doing all freshman, JV, and varsity travel together, so we're sitting there before the game for like, 3-4 hours maybe, sitting there, and it's just like, it's kind of hard to get mentally focused after sitting there for so long, and like your body's just like physically out of it because you haven't been doing anything. So I feel like home games personally are a lot better.
Yeah, and like we're sitting there doing homework before the game, so it's not usually the best thing that you want to do because time management aspect too. And yeah, home games are definitely a better environment. Get more of your fans there cheering you on. Definitely helps.
So with Bryce saying you guys all travel together, do you guys have a certain routine you do when you get there, or is it kind of just see how it goes? If you have homework, do that?
It honestly varies because sometimes, personally, when I get there, if I'm tired, I'll go take a nap in the locker room. But like if I have lots of homework, I'll do that too. But really, it's just you do whatever for like the first hour and a half of like the freshman game, and then we'll go and like watch the JV normally. Then that's when we start to get ready for a game.
Yeah, I agree.
So what is the best piece of advice you've received from a coach that has helped you grow as a player?
I wouldn't say it's like specific advice, but some of the like best coaching I've received is just mostly like move on, forget about a play. Like if you're doing good or bad, it doesn't matter. You have to reset, and it's all about the next play that matters. And I feel like that's a big thing with like every sport in general because people get too caught up like mentally in what they're having to do, and that affects lots of people's games.
Yeah, like last game, Bryce went through some adversity when they went down and dunked on him a little bit, and everyone in the crowd was all hyped up. But then he got back the next play and started getting some buckets. So it's all about the mental aspect of the game, I think.
How do you guys feel like control your mental state during games?
Honestly, I just don't really pay attention. Just like zone out in the game. I feel like I just worry about what's in front of me. Really, I don't really. Nothing affects me outside of that. Like you could hear some like student sections or people trying to chirp at you, and I mean it's funny sometimes when you like listen to them, but like otherwise you just gotta play your game.
Yeah, you just gotta try to zone out everything else that's happening around you and just really focus on the game. Because as soon as you start focusing on outside things, is when stuff starts to go south.
How has new people on this team that maybe didn't play basketball last year really stepped up and helped this team this year?
One of the biggest people, obviously Parker Little, starting point guard. He's averaging the most points per game. I think maybe the most minutes, maybe besides me. But I mean, he's just a big aspect in the game, and like he has really helped us stay in some games, and just he's probably our best player.
Yeah, and then a couple others like Cam Myers. Whenever you need a three, just get him the ball. He'll drain it. Leighton Fink, too, coming off the bench, brings the energy to the boys.
Yeah, or like Ralph. I feel like Ralph really gets us energized, and he's a key piece, especially in practice, too.
Going back to Ralph, how has he taking the transition from basketball in Norway now to basketball in here in Caledonia?
He's told me like it's a lot crazier because he used to average, I think he said 25 points per game in Norway, which shows you how different the game is. And he said it's just really the competition. Everyone's so much more intense. But I think he's doing a good job. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I feel like he's just been doing a good job adapting, and he's a really big part of the team when bringing like energy and stuff.
Yeah, like I feel like at first he was kind of like trying to find his groove a little bit and start the season, but as we keep getting forward, he's really found his place and he's hitting some shots and he's doing good.
How do you guys motivate your teammates through a tough game?
Honestly, that's a pretty hard thing to do sometimes, and especially like having to be out there and play. Really, you just gotta like try and bring your own energy, I feel like. And so if something good or something bad happens, you just gotta like try and like uplift your team by bringing energy and just like acting like everything's okay no matter what, and like everything's going good.
Yeah, I think too, especially in those hard games, you really got to emphasize the little things that you do good. So, like, when you get a good board or you get a steal, you got to make sure that you're getting hyped for that to start bringing the energy and the momentum to your way to get back in the game.
Do you feel like energy from people on the bench, even on away games, is a big factor?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that's, I feel like, part of the reason that helps drive us. Like, if our whole team has energy and like is jumping around, moving around and stuff, even on the bench, then like I feel like everyone else just plays better.
I agree because like, especially since we're not all like we haven't played together like we said earlier. When we all come together and we're bringing energy, it helps us play more together as a team.
So how do you guys balance your life between school, basketball, maybe other sports you play, and your personal life?
Oh wow! Would you like to go first, Lincoln?
Yeah, I guess I'll go. Yeah, it's definitely hard. Gotta use the weekends to your advantage. Even though we got stuff on the weekends, you got to use your 30-minute windows, hour windows to really get like your schoolwork done and get like extra work that you need to get done in. And then like the school days, you just gotta try to get to sleep early. You know, get as much sleep as you can because some nights you'll be getting home late and then you'll be not rested for the next day.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, I know Lincoln too, he goes to the gym before practice, and then we don't get done with practice till 7, and sometimes I'm not even home till 9 doing other sports and stuff, so it's really difficult. And it's like every little chance you get to do something, like I feel like personally I'm like grateful if I get like 20 minutes to just like relax or chill. And then you obviously schoolwork and stuff, you have to balance that out and be able to do homework, so sometimes you're up late at night having to finish stuff.
What's your go-to thing to do on those 20, 30-minute, like, just time to rest you have?
Personally, like, if there's nothing I need to do specifically, normally I'm eating, or I'm normally eating or just on my phone scrolling, because it's just like, it's like a little mental break that you need sometimes.
Yeah, I definitely like to eat too. Maybe play a little Arcaro 2 in there. It's my favorite game of all time right there.
So what are your goals for the rest of the year? We know it's coming to an end, but what are your goals and how are you guys feeling for playoffs?
Honestly, I think these past few games we're making steps forward in improvement, and that's really what we need. And I think as a team, I feel like we're still developing a lot of team chemistry, and we still have quite a few games rest of the season, and then playoffs come around. I think we can make a run, but we really just have to band together and just persevere through everything.
Yeah, I think like at this point in the season, some of the goals that we were hoping for at the start aren't really that much in reach. So we're just hoping to keep developing throughout the season, and then hopefully that developing can help us in the playoffs to try to get as far as we can go.
Yeah, we know there's some moments in games where it can be a little intense, whether it's opposing student sections yelling at you or a really close game. How do you guys handle the pressure of playing in those moments?
Honestly, I really like the The pressure, I don't think is too bad. Like, I don't think it's really the pressure that gets to you, and more people when you're out there. It's just like mentally, like if you're making mistakes and stuff. Because personally, you really don't hear all the chirping. Like you can hear it and stuff, but it doesn't really get to you. You're just trying to focus on your game, but like, I guess the pressure, once it gets inside your head mentally, some people just shut down, and that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah, and I think like especially too when you're like warming up and their student section's right by you and they're chirping you, it's just like you just got to remember they're not out there for a reason. They don't want anything to do with it. So you just got to remember that they're kind of the fans, and then you're just out there doing your thing.
Yeah, they really had to pay to watch you play. That's how I think of it.
Yeah. So with the Cal Slams Cancer game being the last game against Mona Shores, what kind of crowd are you guys hoping to have, and student section hoping to have?
Honestly, this year, like all of our home games and stuff, we have had a lot more students and stuff come out compared to last year, and the crowds all this year have been better. So I'm hoping that lots of people come out and watch us play, especially Mona Shores, who we played last week, had questionable refs, I'd say, and them getting 30-something free throws in a game is pretty crazy. But I hope we have a good outcome, because that is a game we should be able to win.
Yeah, I think that the crowd is a big part too. So if we can get everyone out there, that'll be very helpful. Get the energy going a little bit, get the boys rolling.
Yeah. Well, Bryce, Lincoln, thank you for your time. Good luck to you guys on the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you.